Hello everyone and welcome to yet another video here at Indianapolis in the IndyCars. Looking at the qualifying results, we're starting this one just like the last one, down in the pack a bit in P11. Still less than a tenth off pole, but once again just very close qualifying around here, and as in the previous races it doesn't really matter too much where you start. So coming up to Gold Green then for the first time in this race. Safety car pulls in, going to try and get a good jump now. The leader is waiting a good while to go, but as you can see we almost get into the back of the car ahead of us, and even then after that checkup we didn't go straight away, but we're off now, clean enough, don't lose any places on the run down into turn 1. Getting challenged by the guy in P10, Steve Harvey. He manages to make the move, stick around the outside as we're a bit cautious into turn 1, just trying to keep it clean. On the exit of turn 2 then, he gets a bad run. We would have made the move on him, but there's been a really big collision ahead of us. Unfortunately I don't have a replay of what happened there, but yeah, first caution of the race is called, and thankfully for us we managed to avoid it and we move up a few places. So moving on to the restart then, the end of lap 4, we've managed to move up into 7th because of all those retirements on lap 1. And now as we get ready to go, and we get a bit checked up there on the run to the line.
Let's go.
Yeah, we don't really get a great start this one, but not coming under any pressure from behind us. Up ahead, bit of a challenge between P6 and P5, but nothing really doing there as we take it nice and easy through turn 1. Once again just trying to keep it clean, because I've noticed in these races now if you keep it clean and manage to get to the end you're going to probably end up with a pretty decent result. So sticking into the slipstream now on way down the back straight. Leaders are battling up ahead. We're having a nice quiet lap here, not any excitement. Through turn 4 then to come on to end the lap, getting well into the slipstream, and even though we're half a second back we're going to catch straight back up to this pack like we've seen before. Through turn 1 then, second and third going side by side, but on the exit we get a lot of aero wash. We have to lift off, go down to 4th gear. Thankfully we keep it out of the wall, but someone behind us hasn't managed to do the same, and another safety car is called out and we don't gain anything on that little stint there. So on to the end of caution number 2, the end of lap 9. Going to close up to the back of Duncan ahead of us now and get ready to get going once again. Restarts haven't been very good in these races, I'll be honest, and once again we're after dropping a couple of tenths back as once again Duncan looking to challenge Marcus ahead of him into turn 1. Through turn 1, big lift, not really feeling too confident in this race I don't think, with how the tyres were felt, or just not being too confident with my precision on the steering wheel. Down the back straight then, sticking into the slipstream, nothing really happening. I've kind of noticed that in these races they're a lot more exciting when you're actually racing them than when you're looking back at them and commentating on them, but here we are anyway. Out of turn 4 we get a pretty good run. I have noticed that I feel like I'm pretty good out of the last turn on the run down across the yard of bricks into turn 1, so in the actual Indy 500 maybe that's somewhere that I can make a few moves. As through turn 1, Marcus ahead, he gets a lot of understeer, he goes very high. We kind of followed him there. Through turn 2 we had a bit of understeer, but unfortunately for us we weren't able to try and get a run down the back straight as the third caution of the race comes out. And as it comes out it's going back in now again as we're still in P7. As the leader goes, we seem to get a bit of a better restart then. Feels like, I don't actually think we did, it was probably worse as the car behind us was closer than we were to the cars ahead. It's through turn 1, taking it a bit faster there again, a bit of confidence as up ahead Duncan looked like he's trying to get a move on Marcus in P5. Starting to weave now down the back straight as the leader was trying to break the draft. As we're getting to the tail end of the race now, and in the next few laps is where you want to really be in the lead, because if a caution is called then, when we saw in the last race, that would be the end of the race and the final finishing position. So This is when you kind of have to start thinking about getting moves done, start getting aggressive. There's no point sticking in behind anymore. As into turn one, you can see up ahead, first and second place going side by side. As ahead of us, Duncan once again, he gets a lot of understeer into turn two. Or out of turn one into turn two, I should say. But once again, we don't get a great run onto the back straight, and we're not able to make any kind of a move or put pressure on them at this time. Once again, leaders going side by side into turn three, and once again, Duncan seems to get a bit of understeer, get a much better run through turn three and through turn four. Going to stick into the slipstream. As once again, I want to presume the leaders are going side by side. As you can see up ahead, a lot of weaving in and out, trying to get the draft and get a bit of clean air into turn one. Duncan gets a bit of understeer again, it seems, in turn one, and in turn two he managed to recover, and we're not able to get close enough on this occasion. As down on the run to turn three, again battling into turn one. Kind of have a feeling that there's just going to be something happen with these leaders. They're 2x2, 3 wide at times, and I just can't really see them keeping it clean for the next 5 laps. As out of turn 4 we get a run on Duncan, but I decide to back out into turn 1, and as you're going to see, that turned out to be a really good idea, as P4 and P5 ahead of us, they come together, and we were lucky to avoid it, but unfortunately for Duncan ahead of us, he just smashes straight into them. There was nowhere really for him to go. We managed to narrowly avoid it, and we move up into P4 in this race with just a few laps to go. And as you're going to see now on the restart in the relative, we're actually in P3, as for some reason the guy that was leading this race just disconnected, said he manually disconnected, so not really sure what happened there, but that means we are now in a podium position as we're going to end lap 21, so it's a 1 lap sprint to the end of this race, and we're in a really good position to maybe win this one, as the leader goes now and straight away starting to weave to try and break the slipstream. But really into turn 1 isn't where the action is going to be. It's going to be into turn 3 when we're up to speed with the slipstream down the back straight. So it's important to get a good run out of turn 2 here, which we really don't. I definitely lifted off too much, and now we're a bit far back from the 2 leaders to try and challenge into turn 3. Gianni, he looks down the inside of turn 3, but wasn't able to get a move done, but he's so close now to try and get a good run out of turn 4 onto a run down to the yard of bricks for the lead of this race. First and second side by side as they run to the line. It's going to be really close. We're going to come home in P3 for our first podium of the week. And Arturo, who led the restart, done really well there to manage to keep the lead, while Gianni behind had the slipstream to take the win. So looking at the results then, managed to move up from P11 on the grid to finish on the third step off the podium. Many of, or nearly all of those positions because of other people crashing. But managed to get a good gain of IR up to 1.5k now on the oval license, and managed to recover some of the safety rating we'd lost in some previous races. So hopefully we can move up from P3 now to higher steps on the podium in future races.